absolutely let me know in the comments if I'm the only one who had a breakthrough today or if we're all like on some wave right now. For me, it always starts as like, oh, I feel kind of yucky for a day or two. And I'm just kind of like, I don't work at all. And I just kind of like hole up. And then I sense that there's something there. There's something there. What is it? Where can I find it? And then I just start to journal and I just start to map it all out. And then always something comes in my life that just kind of like breaks it open for me. And so happy to jump on here and let you guys know what it is. It's just, you know, your business is a puzzle and it's always unfolding a little by little by little. And that, what I'm coming to find with clients and for myself is like, that is appropriate. Relaxing into this instead of being in the mind and being like, I have to figure it out. I have to think of this. Think. Reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. Think. But, when we can relax into our bodies, then these things have a way of like revealing themselves. And so the puzzle piece that made its way in for me today basically has to do with it's like I know what I do, but it's always like honing in deeper and deeper and deeper on the messaging. So, um, some of you may know, but for years before I had kids, I did craniosacral therapy. And it's something that I still do and love to this day. It's just that, like, I don't work on clients anymore. I work on loved ones and friends. Sometimes people approach me and I love the work, so I'm happy to do it. So, what I realized is that, as a massage therapist at the time, people come to me and they would want deep tissue, always deep tissue. And I would try not to dissuade them of that, but I just got into this place in my therapy where it was like, I know you think you need deep tissue, but what is going to be the modality that will help you the furthest, the most, the longest is craniosacral therapy. So, sometimes people still they were like certain that they didn't want that and they wasn't going to help them. So I'm like, okay, deep tissue it is. But if I could have someone sort of see it and try it, then I could show them what it's like. There's almost no way to know or to explain craniosacral therapy. Like you have to experience it, which is funny because my business is the same way. Like I have your clear next step as a session you can dip your toe in, because it's like you have to dip your toe in to actually know what it is that I do. But this gave me a huge component to explain it. So let me continue. So in craniosacral therapy, let's say you're on the pelvis, you find an energy cyst. What I think of when people ask me what craniosacral therapy is, my elevator pitch is kind of like, well, okay, so your massage therapist, like you tell them what's wrong and they're like, oh, I know what to do. And they jump in and they do what they think they needs done. And same with your PT. You tell them like what the problem is and they're like, oh, okay, you need this. And then same with chiro, like whatever it is, you can see the pattern, right? It's like, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do this to you. The difference with craniosacral therapy is that it's the first time someone's listened to your body. And what's amazing and beautiful is whenever you put your hands on somebody, you kind of introduce yourself into their system. You can feel their system go, oh, it's like the first release and the first relax is like, you're not going to jump in here and do what you think I need. You're listening to me. And so the huge realization I had is like, that's what I'm doing in business. Only instead of your body, it's your business. People come in and they're like, I want strategy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love strategy. Absolutely. But this work is asking us to listen to your business, because your business is your body, is your subconscious. And whenever we can realize that and piece that together, it's like, oh, it all makes a lot more sense. What I was going to say earlier is in craniosacral therapy, let's say you find that energy system, you put your hands on someone's pelvis. That's where I often felt it, but you can feel it in other places too. And that's usually where they're like, this is where it hurts. And you set your hands there. And so that you can feel the energy, and it feels like a ping pong ball. And it's like, bing, 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 bing. It's always a different pattern. And so your hands are on this pelvis and you're just like, I feel that. Do you feel that? And a lot of times they're like, no, which is fine. Sometimes they do. But so what I always did as a therapist is I would gently, when you say pressure in craniosacral therapy, it's like that much, it's like that much pressure. Like this is me applying pressure. It's more of an intention. But so you meet it here, and you meet it there, and you meet it here, and you meet it there, and then you're just still and present and calm, and you listen, and you can feel the body, the energy system goes. And that's what the person does when it releases. That sigh, the tissue releasing. So that's what happens in these sessions. You know, people come in and they're going to want a strategy, but it's like, you know, let's find the pattern and let's meet it gently, be still and present. And when you leave the session, you're like, oh, which is so much deeper, and is like, in some of these sessions, these people are never going to be the same again. And that's what I cannot get enough of this work. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's why after a session, I'm like, I could do this every day, all day. I love it so much. Thank you, guys. This is what I get to do. This is what I get to do. It's just incredible. And it's a joy and a gift. And to me, it feels very sacred. But again, with the deep tissue, it's like, if you're set on strategy, like, yeah, let's go. I love strategy. It's just that, you know, if you come back to me, I'm going to bring up craniosacral again, because yes, the deep tissue feels really good and it makes your body feel some relief, but the craniosacral is stopping the pattern that's underneath what is making you want the deep tissue. And so that was a huge realization for me today, and it feels amazing, and I'm super pumped up about it, because, you know, this whole path with business, you're just like, and what I've been saying in here so much is like, relax, and then the clarity comes. But it kind of feels like, are you sure? There's no way. My head is entirely open, and that can create a lot of pressure building up in my system of like wanting to know, wanting to be certain, wanting to know what's 10 feet out. Just let me know so that I can know. But the more you relax and let it drift in, the more it's going to be more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. Same with the craniosacral session. We think that we're going to get the deep tissue and then relax. So what we're looking at here is, you know, in our business, it's like, we want, like I said, the pressure in our mind, it wants clarity. Give me the clarity so then I can sigh. I got it. No, that's so backwards, and I can guarantee you that it is. So what we want instead is, we want the sigh, and then we get clarity. And then we get to jump in with what's right for you and what makes sense. And if we're doing it the other way, it's just going to make things feel like even more pressure, like you are choosing more pressure, and less clarity will come, even though you're like, that's all you want in the world, and you're trying so hard with that. So I know that, because everything that I'm building in the medicine cabinet and everything that's coming into the group is like, it's all things that I am working through, letting yourself soften and then letting this bubble up, and not the other way around. And that's really what I love about human design, because it's going to help you remove any of the interference, so that you can actually hear yourself. And so that's what I realized. I keep saying I'm a business doula, because I absolutely love getting into the strategy, and I absolutely love helping you figure out what wants to unfold here. But what we're really truly doing is helping you get out of your way so that you can listen to yourself. Your body is your subconscious. Your business is basically your body. And so when we can hear that and integrate it and understand what it's saying, there's so much more clarity there. And then it's basically, you're building in a way that feels amazing. So it's like, you get to have your cake and eat it too. And what I always say is, you get to fall back in love with your business, and your business gets to love you too. And then with human design and gene keys, the other aspect of falling in love with your business is, it helps you figure out the parts of you that you probably vaguely generally know are there, or it was in your story somewhere, but it's like, that's your business, and that's what comes to the front, and that's how you talk about it, and that's how you niche, and that's how you message, and that's how you get your offers. And so it just takes this big, huge, monolithic endeavor, and it creates these bite-sized pieces that are like, oh, it can be that, and it can be easy, and it can be gentle, and I can continue doing what makes me feel amazing and helps other people. So if you're thinking, I need another strategy, yes, very, very truly, that could absolutely be it. And like I said, I'm down with that. I love it. But let's also consider that it could be a maybe. Maybe you need strategy. But before strategy, let's get your nervous system to have that sigh of relief. And what I love is that's what I get to do in your Clear Next Step. So this is an hour-long strategy session. Sorry, it's not a strategy session. This is an hour-long session where we're helping you really listen together. And it's kind of our first little introduction to each other too. So we're letting that pattern reveal itself, and then we're letting your wisdom finally have room to speak because we're listening so deeply. What I love about this realization too is some of you have been in here hearing me yap about my undefined G, and I'm yapping about my undefined G, and I'm figuring out like all the ins and outs of it. And so one of the components is that your G is going to, it's pulling things towards you. So that's the only direction that you're going to see with the G, is that pulling whatever it is to you. And so that's why we look at the gates in your G center to see like, okay, well, what is that pulling toward me? Or what could it be pulling towards me? Or what can I look deeper into? And so my gene key there, let me make double sure before I just totally say the wrong thing. Yeah. Gene key 13, which is all about deep listening. And so that was part of this beautiful unfolding with this realization, is like, craniosacral therapy, I've always known and said, is deep listening, and realizing that there's almost nothing different from what I do now from what I did then with deep listening to your business. It hit me, and I was like, that's what it was. That was why I was like in a funk, and that's what pulled me out. Now I'm like super energetic and I can talk about it all day. So I just want to tie this in one more time into what your business as medicine means. I think we come in here and we know what it means, but I just want to say that your business is talking to you, and we don't need it to talk louder. We need to become more quiet so that we can hear it. And in addition to that, what I'm realizing is my job isn't to help you fix it or solve it. I want to. There's a part of me that's like, oh, let me do that. But I'm realizing my job is to help you stay with it, and to listen more deeply and to listen more closely. And then once those pieces, so first you relax, and then that piece floats in, and then we put it into place. And it's that easy. And that's what I've been doing with myself, and that's what I've been doing with clients. And so it's like, it really came together for me. Like, that's what it is. And so I said that before, but the medicine cabinet, that's what's going in there too, is what's helping us come back to relaxing and listening so that we can have the sigh. So not clarity, not strategy, not more confidence, but that sigh that helps us know and realize where to pay attention. Another craniosacral component is the significance detector, which helps you get to that energy cyst. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this whole thing. And this is what it looks like in real time, as you feel the clouds coming together and you sense that something is brewing. You don't know what it is yet. Like I said, using the medicine cabinet to relax into it and realize that you're safe, And here comes a new pattern that we're going to see and sit with and be still. And then seeing what unfolds after that. And then putting that piece in place. So all that to say, if you are interested in the medicine cabinet, which I've been giving out little teasers and little portions of it and segments. So keep an eye out for those because I'm happy to send you those segments. But if you're like, I am ready to see what's in there, it goes along really well with my sessions, but I do have an a la carte, so you can DM me medicine and I'm happy to send that your way. And then on top of that is your clear next step session. So that is just like this craniosacral therapy session where you come in, you lay down. That's not true. It's a voice note session, which really helps us, kind of get right to the crux. Use the significance detector to get right into, we both get our streams of consciousness that are uninterrupted by, if we're on a Zoom call, it's like, your turn to talk, my turn to talk. But with the voice note sessions, we can just like dive in straight into that stream of consciousness, which gets us really deep, really fast. So if you're interested in one of those sessions, it's $27 for 1 hour. And it's just the best way to dip a toe in and be like, okay, what is this all about? What does she do? If you're interested in that, DM me step. But I just want to say until next time, keep listening to your body because your body is talking to you. Your business is talking to you. And it's just asking you to listen more deeply.